Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I've got a little post-it note pad cover here for you today. I've been playing with the new Stampin' Up! In colours. This is Parakeet Party, and it matches the post-it note I had. So I thought, oh, I'll make a little cover. That'll be cute. And I've done lots of different textures on here because I've made this for a blog hop that I was on recently, where we had to show different ways of adding texture. So we've got an embossing folder there, we've got some glimmer paper, and we've got a bit of heat embossing, and we've got like the difference between DSP and cardstock and that. So lots and lots of texture going on, even raised a bit and curled a bit. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I made this sort of nice, easy project for you. So to make this project, I am using the colour family stack. So we have the 6x6 designer series paper in every colour family, including the in colours, and you get 4 designs. So let me just, I'm really struggling here, I don't know why. There. So you get this lovely sort of check, we get some dots, we get this floral, we get a nice stripe, and this is sweet sorbet. Then we've got Tahitian tide, and then we've got orchid oasis. So these are the new 2020 to 2024 in colours. Then we have Parakeet Party, which reminds me of Lemon Lime Twist. And then we've got Starry Sky, beautiful blue, love it. And also in the in colours, we have some ombre glitter paper. So that is the Parakeet Party. That's the Orchid Oasis. That's the Sweet Sorbet. That's Starry Sky. And that's Tahitian Tide. So I'm going to be using Parakeet Party today. So I'm going to use a bit of the glimmer paper, and I'm going to use one of these sheets. I haven't actually decided on which pattern I want, so I'm taking these 2 sheets out, so I've got the choice. So let's just bundle that lot up. So a nice bright colour palette in the new in colours. And the reason why I'm using Parakeet Party is because I've got this post-it note pad, and it's a very good match. So you can buy post-it notes. You can usually get 4 or 5 for about £1 in pound shops or home bargains, or B&M, and they come in different colours. But I just thought, looked at that and went, I haven't made a post-it note cover for a really long time, and they're really nice customer thank you gifts or little party favours. And I find when I've got a post-it note in a nice cover, I tend not to lose them. I'm forever losing post-it note pads, but if I've made a nice cover for them, I'm not going to lose them. And when they're as in your face bright as this, you're even less likely to use them. Okay, so I've got a theme that I've got to do, which is adding texture. So I'm doing that in a blog hop. The blog hop would have come out by the time you see this. So I thought, well, that's texture. This glimmer paper, it's not going to come off this this glitter. Some glitter paper, it comes off, but this doesn't. But it does add texture. Another way of adding texture is heat embossing. So I am going to do a bit of heat embossing as well. So I thought I'd use this flower in Colour and Contour because it's not too big, for the front of a post-it pad, and I thought I'll heat emboss this bit and not that bit, and that will add a little bit of texture as well. Another way of adding texture is by using embossing folders. So I've got Typeworn, which I thought might be quite nice to go with a post-it note that you're going to write on. So that's another way of adding texture. So those are the thoughts that I'm going to use for adding texture. So I'm going to do the stamping first. So I've got some basic white. I've got my stamps mounted. I'm going to bring in some Parakeet Party. To heat emboss we need Versamark, and I'm going to use some clear embossing powder as well, and I'm going to heat emboss with Parakeet Party and show you how you can do that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the inside of the flower first, and I will be die cutting it, so I've got the dies as well to match. So I'm going to just get a little bit of scrap grid because I want to stamp off. I want the inside to be subtler, so I'm going to stamp off and then stamp there, and I am going to stamp this first in the Versamark, and then I'm going to stamp it, just thinking where it goes, it is going to be about there, stamp it in this, and then stamp it over like so. Doesn't match perfectly, it doesn't have to. And now I'm gonna put the clear embossing powder over that, and it has stuck to the Versamark, and now we're ready to heat that up. So heat embossing is a great way to add a bit of texture to your project. So it's going to be noisy. Now it's not as perfect as when you use Versamark directly, but there is a little bit there, I think you can see there, a little bit of embossing has gone on there, and you can feel the raised edges there. So I'm just gonna snip that off there, ready for die cutting. So I get the flower there, and this is where I take some time to work out. Oh, that's it, didn't take that much time at all. So I'm going to get that die cut out. So that's that done. So we've got our little flower there, which will add a little bit of texture to our project. So now I'm going to make the post-it pad. So this is a 3 by 3 inch post-it pad, and the depth of this post-it pad, if I do it somewhere where you can see what I'm doing, it is about 1/2 inch. If we see in here, each one of these, not 1/2 inch, quarter, is 1/4 inch, and this takes up that 1/4 inch. So you want 3 inches and 1/4 and another 3 inches. So that's 6 1/4 you want round to cover it, and then you want it 3 inches wide. So I'm going to use a bit of Whisper White, basic white. I would use the Parakeet Party, except when I just ordered it, it wasn't available. The multi-packs of A4 were not available in pre-order, which was another reason for not pre-ordering. And so I have just ordered my cardstock. So doing it in basic white. So we want to go 6 1/4, which is there. There we are. And then we are going to score down there at 3 inches, and then 3 1/4. Fold those, and that, easy peasy lemon squeezy, should be perfect fit for our post-it note cover. Okay, so I'm going to do, I might do a little bit of embossing on this, just to add a bit more texture to it, give it a little bit of something different. So just going to burnish this, and I'm going to get my embossing folder. There it is. And I'm gonna do it on the diagonal, I think. So I'm gonna feed that through my big shot like that, because this is not going to fit, but you're going to stop there, so that'll be fine. So I'm just going to get this embossed. So there we are. So that's another bit of texture there added. So I'm going to put some paper on, and I might do some ink blending, which picks up the raised bit, and this is another way of adding a visual impression of texture. It shows it up there, it's picked it up nicely like so. And then I'm going to add some paper. Now there's a bit of me that thinks I should use the floral, because I've used the floral. I might use the dots. I think I'm going to go for the dots actually. So I just want a 3-inch square of this. I will go 3-inch square. I was thinking I might leave a border, but I don't think so. Just going to cut that down 3, and then go from the corner to there. And that should cover that nicely. And then I'm going to put a bit of the ombre. I might just do a little strip. So quarter of an inch, half an inch. Might do 3/8, which is about 1 centimetre. Yep, that works for me. And then I was thinking about, if you're going to give this for a gift, I wanted to put, I like just a note, but I haven't got a stamp set with just a note, so I think I might just go for, I'm going to go For You from Sentimental Swirls. We've got a nice little For You there. I think I might heat emboss this as well. Yeah. Trying to do this, you've got to be quick when you do this way round to make sure that it doesn't dry on you. So I want to cut that out, and I had my layering circles ready. Grab my smallest ones. So I'm going to get these cut out, and so I'm going to cut some out of the DSP, some out of that. So that's it cut out, and I thought, actually, I think I want a little bit of a white border there, so I'm going to trim just a little bit more off that, so that it comes in there like so. Stick that down, and then I can trim that off. So let's start assembling that. It's a really, really small mat that you get with this circle. So just sticking that on there with a bit of Tombow, using my silicone brush to spread the glue out, and then just leaving a small margin around the two sides, and then just putting my finger where I want the glue to stop on that little strip, overhanging at both edges, so then I can come in with my snips and trim it down so I get a nice flush finish there on that little strip. And I might just come in slightly around the edges. I am going to stick this to the post-it pad, because then I've got a bit easier for sticking the decoration on, because I've got something to lean against. So managed to get a little bit of a dog ear there. This will be replaceable, so when you've come to the end of your post-it note, you can add another pad. Although by the time you've got to the end, your cover might be looking worse for wear, so you might want to change it. And I might just give this a little bit of a curl. Again, adding a little bit of texture. And then taking a couple of dimensionals. Pops it up. A bit more texture really. And you could add ribbon, although the ribbon that I've got to match this is again in the order. And there we have it. That's my little post-it note cover. Open it up and we've got post-it notes that match. Loving that. And I've added different ways of adding texture. So I'll link down below to all the products that I've used. I'll link to my blog where you'll be able to check out the blog hop, where everybody else will have added different things to add texture. And yeah, do hope you like that project, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And it was really nice to play with something bright and not my usual vintage look. Okay, bye for now.